Good evening, friends. Welcome you to today's session. Today's topic is valuation of bonds. So, to understand valuation of bond, we will start with understanding what is fixed income securities. So, in simple terms, if I need to explain you what is fixed income security is a security whereby you have a fixed return. Okay, just a second. Yeah, you have fixed returns. Okay, for a fixed period of interest payment is there, and eventually maturity में आपका principal is returned back to you. Okay, so in simple word, if I have to say, a fixed deposit is a kind of fixed income security. In this you have a fixed return. Okay, say for example you have booked a FD for 9%, so you know that every year end or every period end for which you have booked the FD, you will be getting a 9% interest. Okay, at the end of the period, say for example you have booked the FD for 5 years. Okay, so at the end of 5 years you will get your principal back. Okay, so this meets the definition of a fixed income security. Any security which is not having a fixed rate of return at the inception of the security, that is called as variable or a floating rate income security. Okay, so what do you mean by fixed return? Say for example I tell you your security will give you a 9%, 8% and 7% return in first 3 years. So is this a fixed income security or a floating income security? So answer will be, this is a fixed income security, because on day 0 you know that you will be earning interest rate at the rate 9%, 8% and 7%. If I would have told you that you would be earning a interest of MIBOR plus 2% or LIBOR plus 4%, something like that, those kind of securities are classified as a variable income securities. So now coming back to today's topic without wasting any time, what is a bond? Bond is an agreement made by an investor to the issuer. The issuer, in return of the investment made by the investor, promises to repay the face value along with the interest as per the schedule generally agreed upon. So this is meeting the principal definition of fixed income security, and bond is hence classified as fixed income security. So bond में होता क्या है? बॉन्ड एक फिक्स्ड इनकम सिक्योरिटी है. यहाँ पे एक हमारी फेस वैल्यू हमें वापस मिल जाती है, तो प्रिंसिपल इज गेटिंग रिपेड plus we are getting periodic interest. So we are getting both our principal money back and periodic interest we are getting. Hence bond also classify the definition of FIS. What are the basic characteristics of bond? Bonds की क्या क्या primary characteristics होती है, एक एक करके समझते हैं उसको. Maturity. Bond generally 3 level of maturity को belong करता है, short term, medium term and long term. शॉर्ट टर्म मेच्योरिटी होती है 1 से 3 साल, मीडियम टर्म मेच्योरिटी होती है 3 से 10 साल, और लॉन्ग टर्म बॉन्ड्स होते हैं ओवर 10 years. You will be very surprised to hear there are some bonds which are even issued more than 100 years. Okay, so ऐसा नहीं है कि बॉन्ड्स खाली 1 से 10 साल के बीच में होते हैं या 10 से थोड़े ज्यादा. कोई कोई बॉन्ड्स ऐसे भी होते हैं मार्केट में जो आपके मोर देन 10 years भी होते हैं. Bonds can be either secured or unsecured. Bonds can be of both the categories. Either secured bonds can be issued or unsecured bond can be issued. Liquidation preference. Okay, this is the second characteristic of the bond. What do you mean by liquidation preference? If a company goes bankrupt, what will be your priority order in terms of the repayment? So you know that whenever a company goes bankrupt, so you will be paid before the equity shareholder of the company. So that will be the priority order of yours in terms of liquidation. What is coupon? Like in fixed deposit or in a bank deposit, what we do, we have something called as interest rate. In bond language, we have something called as coupon rate. Okay, it functions exactly like a interest. Okay, it is as good as, for conceptual understanding, it as good as interest rate. Okay, and the fourth point what we need to understand is callability of the bond. Callability we will discuss in the next slides in details, because that has another components attached to it. Who can issue the bonds in the market? So generally in India, bond issue is governed by FIMDA. So this is a board which was established in 1997. Okay, and this board deals with issuance of money market instrument, fixed derivatives and bond market. So generally in India, bonds can be issued by government, corporations and municipalities and agencies. Okay, so municipalities and agencies are local and state government. corporation bonds are generally issued by the companies, okay, and government bonds, we all know the G securities are there, which are issued by the government of India. So best example of G securities is gold bonds, what the government of India issues. So now let's understand what is the primary difference between stock and bond. What is the difference? स्टॉक आपको देता क्या है? स्टॉक आपको एक कंपनी की ओनरशिप देता है, ओके। बॉन्ड आपको कोई कंपनी की ओनरशिप नहीं देता। आप बॉन्ड एक आप बॉन्ड होल्डर हो तो यू आर जस्ट एज गुड एज अ लाइबिलिटी इन द बुक्स of the company, but as a equity you have a higher returns expectation, so you are having a higher risk also, and that's why you as a equity holder will be paid at the end in comparison to a liquidity event. Okay, so this is a primary difference between a bond and a stock. Bond may the returns are fixed on the day zero, you know what are your returns going to be, but in stock you are not aware what your returns are going to be. Now let's try to understand what are various types of bond. So number one is zero coupon bond. Zero coupon bonds are the bonds which are not having any periodic payment, okay. So like we discussed that a fixed deposit or a bond has a periodic payment. In zero coupon bond there is no periodic payment of the interest. They pay the par value at maturity, and the interest results from the fact that zero coupon bond are initially sold at a price below par. So when they would be sold, so they are say for example on 1st January 2021 I purchase a zero coupon bond. I will purchase it say for example for 400 rupees, okay, and its maturity is after 2 years, okay. Say for example on 31 December 2023 I will be getting 1200 rupees on this particular bond. So my interest what I am earning is rupees 1200 minus 400, that is rupees 800 is my interest what I am earning. So generally zero coupon bond are issued at a discounted rate and they are redeemed at the par value, okay. So at the end of the period what this value is, this is the par value of the bond. Convertible bond. So there are certain bonds which are issued in the market which have a option to be converted into equity or another debt instrument after the period of expiry. Generally whenever you issue such kind of an instrument in the market where you are giving a leverage to the end holder of the bond to convert you itself into a equity and become the owner of the company, you generally issue them at a lower interest rate than the compared market interest rate what are prevailing at that point of time. Now let's discuss the third, embedded option. So this is the callability of the bond what we discussed as one of the key characteristics of the bond. This is the embedded options. What are embedded options? Embedded option is a provision attached to the bonds or security that gives a right but not obligation. Okay, please remember it doesn't give any obligation either to the holder of the security or to the issuer of the security. It gives you one additional right over the rights what are generally given to a bond holder or the issuer of the securities. So we will now try to understand the rights from both issuer point of view and the holder's point of view. So if I talk to you about embedded option right from a holder's point of view, okay, the number one is the put provision. Put provision is given to the holder. Say for example, holder thinks that he has invested right now in a particular bond. Holder has invested in bond A, which is giving him 6%. Okay, but the current it has invested for a period of 10 years. Okay, 2 years has lapsed and now he feels that market after 2 years for some changes market is now giving a interest rate of 10%. So his money has got blocked in particular A security at 6% for 10 years now, but in the market he is getting a better option to invest which will give him a 10% return. Okay, so what he thinks that if he gets an opportunity to redeem his bond right now in the market, he can reinvest that money into this new bond and earn a 10% interest. So if a bond has that kind of an option attached to it, it is called as a puttable provision of the bond. So in this particular case, the bond holder has a right to redeem his bond prior to maturity. He will be paid the principal amount plus interest whatever is due till the date of redemption by him of that particular maturity. Second kind of the bond which is the convertible provision. Convertible provision is very simple, that I bought a bond A for 10 years and company has given a commitment that after completion of 10 years, either they will issue me a new bond B with a better security of XYZ%, or it will issue me the equity. Okay, or it will give me an opportunity to take back my cash. Okay, so if such kind of provision is attached whereby company is giving you an opportunity to either take equity or convert yourself into another bond or a debenture, or redeem your bond completely by cash, such kind of an provision attached is called as convertible provision. The third point what we will discuss from a holder point of view is a floating rate provision. So say for example that investor is invested into a floating bond. Okay, so he had invested at MIBOR plus 2%. Okay, and at that time of when he invested, MIBOR was say for example 8%. So he was getting 8 plus 2, that is 10%. But slowly MIBOR start getting decreasing, and at the end of 5th year MIBOR was say for example 5th year mein MIBOR was 4%. So now he is getting 4 plus 2, that is 6%. But his minimum expectation was he should at least earn 7% out of this particular bond. So if he would have enrolled into a specific bond which gives a floating rate capping, okay, so he would minimum earn a 7%. Okay, such kind of bonds are having a higher capping of 7%, and that's why he will always, irrespective of whatever MIBOR becomes, he will minimum earn 7%. Okay, maximum he will keep on earning. If MIBOR increases, he will earn a higher rate of return. But if for any reason MIBOR decreases, then he will minimum earn 7%. He will never earn less than 7%. So that kind of an bond is called as floating rate provision bond. Now let's understand from the issuer point of view. So like the put provision, the issuer can also have a feeling that right now he has issued, say for example, he had issued a bond in market, bond A, at the rate 10%, but economy of the country has gone down, and now the new bond which are whatever are getting issued in the market are getting issued at say for example 6%. So he feels that he is ending up paying a higher rate of interest to the bondholders. So he can have a provision whereby he can redeem those bonds upfront itself and give back the money to the bondholders and reissue newer bond in the market at a better market opportunity of 10%. So such kind of bonds are called as callable provision bonds. Capped floating rate provision. So this generally caps the floating rate. So say in our example, we took that company has issued at MIBOR plus 2%. Okay, and MIBOR, and when it issued at 8% plus 2%, that is 10%. And the company ka maximum expectation was it will go up till 12%. If MIBOR goes above 12, then the cost of having the bond is very high for them. But after 5th year, say for example, MIBOR becomes itself 12%. So company was ending up, if they don't have this provision attached of capped floating rate, company would end up paying 14%. But because the company has this particular floating provision attached to it, it will end up maximum paying 12%. So this is primarily, if you understand from both holder and issuer point of view, these are the benefits what are generally given to the holder of the security or the issuer of the security. Please note that these are not the obligation on them, these are the rights given to them. Okay, so say for example, if the company has this right to redeem a particular bond, but if the individual or the holder of the bond does not want to redeem, company can't force him to redeem. So these are the rights but not the obligation. The fourth type of bond is a fixed rate bond. That is nothing but like something like exactly something similar to a fixed deposit. Okay, but in the nature of bond generally issued by corporations. Okay, so they are categorized as fixed rate of bond. Yahan pe, as discussed in the first slide also, your interest can be 9%, 7%, 8%, whatever for the 3 years also, but they will be categorized as fixed rate of bond. They will not be called as floating rate of bond, though the rate of returns every year is different. So please note this is a fixed rate because you know the interest rate on the date of the subscription to the bond. Floating rate bond we already discussed, which will be issued at MIBOR plus 2% or LIBOR plus 2% or 3%, whatever. Such kind of bonds are floating rate bonds. What are SGBs? They are generally issued by Government of India. Their price is generally linked with some commodity, for example gold. So if I have to give the example, so SGB are their sovereign gold bond. They are generally issued for a period of 8 years, and they might have a lock-in or they might not have a lock-in, and they periodically pay a interest also. So right now, जैसे if you ask me, Government of India SGB is paying a 2.5% semi-annually interest also. Okay, other kind of bonds, we will just have a look at it. So there are various kind of bond. You should know the names at least, so that if something of this nature comes in the examination, you should be able to correlate with. So other kind of bonds are fixed rate bonds, floating rate bonds, corporate government bond, zero coupon bond, high yields, convertible, fixed index bond, subordinate bond, and foreign bonds. So foreign bonds are generally issued in foreign currency. Okay, inflation index bonds are generally, they are based on the index of the country and they are issued by the government. Key terminologies what we will learn in valuation of the bond. These are very critical because lot of questions can be asked surrounding these terminologies, and if you don't know the terminologies, you will miss the concepts, and the sums will also not come to you naturally. So first is a par value of the bond. So par value is this, in simple terms, we all are finance professional, is the face value of the bond. Face value of the bond is the par value. It's not fair value, it is the face value of the bond. Coupon rate is the interest rate, as discussed. In language of bond, it is called as coupon rate. Maturity period is the timeline of the bond. Okay, so say for example, you have invested for 3 years. Okay, so 1 year, 2 year, and 3 years. So this 3 years is the end of the maturity. So period of the bond is called as maturity. We generally term it as T. Redemption is one shot repayment of the principal amount, so which is generally at the end of the year or end of the period of the bond, or it can be even spread during the bond of the period. Okay, it can be like you are getting 1/4 of the money in first year, second year 1/4, third year 1/4, and fourth year 1/4. So that kind of a thing is called redemption. Okay. Next is bond indenture. What is a bond indenture? See, whenever you are investing in anything, you would like to know that what this money is going to be used for. So bond indenture is nothing but a legal documents which documents all the terms and conditions regarding the particular bond. So all those things what we studied earlier, putable bond, callable bond, convertible bond, non-convertible bonds, all those terms and conditions what are there, they are generally documented in the bond indenture. This is a very critical document because if you want to invest in some company and you want to know what this money is going to be utilized for, this is the correct document which you should refer. In these documents, credit rating of the company will be given, financial data of the company will be given, everything would be given. What is clean price and dirty price? Clean price is a price without accrued interest. Dirty price is clean price plus accrued interest. This is very simple, but you can easily expect a 1 mark MCQ coming out of this. So now let's come to the most important part of the bond, that is the bond valuation. Okay, so how do you value a bond? In simple language, if I have to tell you how do you value a bond, bond ka value is present value of future cash flows of the bond. Okay, in simple terms, if I have to tell you, bond ka value is nothing but the present value of the future cash flows. So what will be the, if I have to bifurcate this, it will have two components. One will be the coupon, one will be the principal. So coupon ka present value, PV of coupons plus PV of principal is the value of the bond. So in the formula, if you see, value of the coupon plus value of the bond is the value of the, value principal, value of PV of the principal is the value of the bond. Okay, so समझने के लिए आपको सिंपल तरीके से मैं समझा रहा हूँ. Present value of all the future cash flow of that particular bond is called as value of the bond. What is yield to maturity? Yield to maturity का मतलब होता है कि एक इन्वेस्टर की क्या एक्सपेक्टेशन है एक बॉन्ड से. Okay, what is the investor expectation? Though that bond is earning 10%, coupon rate is 10%. Okay, this should be coupon rate. Coupon is 10%, but what this particular bond is going to earn for me, that is my expectation, that is YTM. Okay, उसको YTM बोलते हैं. YTM मतलब IRR कैलकुलेट करने के लिए दो तरीके हैं. Okay, one is you can directly calculate in Microsoft Excel, and one is a approximate method which you can use to calculate, which is a formula driven method if you are using pen and calculator. Okay, we will do by both of the way. I will explain you both the ways on a Excel sheet so that you are comfortable whenever you are doing it. So say for example, you have a bond which was issued for 1010. So this was the issue price. Okay, the bond का face value was, let's assume bond का face value was ₹1000 and interest coupon rate was, coupon is for your 10% and your time period is 3 years. Okay, so here I will write what is my period 0, 1, 2, 3. Then I will write my cash flow CF. Okay, my first year I have a outflow and I have issued, say for example, I have issued this coupon, I have issued this bond at 1010 and I'm going to redeem it at a premium of 1020. 20 rupees premium pe I am going to redeem it. So for my first year, 0 year, my outflow is 1020. So I will put it in negative. Then my interest rate is 1000 into 10% is my coupon. Okay, so and that will come to me in all the 3 years. And in the end of third year, what I will have to do is I will getting my principal also back. So in redemption, I am going to get 1020. That is the feature of the bond. So if I do here and I just mention IRR and I just stretch it here, okay, and I press enter, so it gives me an answer of 10.2%. Okay, so this is particularly one way of calculating IRR. Another way of calculating IRR is the formula wise, it's an approximate method. Okay, so in this particular method, what you calculate is, I will open my bracket. Okay, in this it calculates coupon plus redemption value minus the initial investment value divided by time. This will be my numerator. This divided by my denominator would be, again open bracket, redemption value plus investment value divided by 2 and bracket closed. Okay, so this comes to 10.18%. So there will be little very small variance between the IRR and approximate calculation. I would prefer using Microsoft Excel and calculating IRR, or using a scientific calculator to calculate IRR. Depending on whichever is allowed to you in CFA examination or RV examination, you can use either of them. Back to the PPT. Yep. So now let's try to understand concept of duration. ड्यूरेशन का मतलब क्या होता है इन लैंग्वेज ऑफ बॉन्ड? ड्यूरेशन इज नथिंग बट मेजरमेंट ऑफ रिस्क. ओके, हाउ लॉन्ग इट विल टेक फॉर यू टू रिकवर योर प्रिंसिपल मनी व्हाट यू हैव invested in that particular bond is called as duration of the bond. Okay, duration of the bond, if I have to calculate, it is very simple. It is nothing but time multiplied by present value of future cash flow total divided by value of bond. Okay, so this is called as duration. Okay, this is also called as Macaulay's duration. So you can term it as duration or Macaulay's duration. Whenever I am using the word duration, please assume that I am talking about Macaulay's duration only. Okay, second concept what you will learn here is the modified duration. Modified duration का मतलब होता है change in interest rate affecting the duration of the bond. ओके, इंटरेस्ट रेट अगर आपके बॉन्ड को ड्यूरेशन को चेंज करेगी तो किस तरह से करेगी, इसका फॉर्मूला होगा ड्यूरेशन डिवाइडेड बाय 1 प्लस आर. ओके, ड्यूरेशन डिवाइडेड बाय 1 प्लस आर. ड्यूरेशन चेंजेस विद ईच चेंज इन इंटरेस्ट रेट. आपका जब जब इंटरेस्ट रेट चेंज होगा तो आपका ड्यूरेशन किस तरीके से चेंज होगा, ये उसको रिप्रेजेंट करता है. सो दिस इज ड्यूरेशन मॉडिफाइड. So first what we learned is Macaulay's duration. This is a very complicated formula. Okay, C denotes the coupon. 1 plus R in the denominator denotes the PV of coupons. Okay, and this and this T denotes the time. It is getting multiplied by time. And this below this formula denotes the value of bond. Okay, so in simple terms, I have tried to explain you T multiplied by present value of future cash flows divided by value of bond. Value of bond we know how to calculate. Value of the bond is present value of future cash flow. The only thing what you have to do is multiply all the future cash flows with the time factor. Okay, once you do that and divide it by value of the bond, the answer that you will get is the duration. And when you divide the duration by 1 plus R, then you get a modified duration, or we can even term as the volatility. Okay, now let's do a practical example so that all the concepts of the calculation of the bond becomes very easy to you. So the sum says the period is 5 years, coupon is 8%, par value of the bond is 1000. You have to calculate the price of bond, duration of the bond, modified duration, interest rate falls by 80 bips. So calculate the all these things, and YTM is 7.25%. So let's go to Excel and try to solve this particular problem. Okay, so I will just remove all the calculation part, okay, so that it becomes easier for you to understand. So you have been given a bond which is of 1000 rupees, which gives you an interest of 8%. Okay, bond is for 5 years, and at the end of the 5th year you will be getting your 1000 rupees capital back. Okay, so these are your cash flows. You have been told in the sum that your YTM is 7.25%. So investors expectation was 7.25%. So इसका हम लोग प्रेजेंट वैल्यू निकालेंगे तो कैसे निकालेंगे? 1 divided by 1 plus 7.25% is the present value raised to the power of the period T. Okay, I am just stretching the formula down because I am doing it on Excel. So this is, I am just stretching. This will become PV into cash flow. So present value of the future cash flows, this is this. And if I will do summation of it, though my answer for the value of bond will be 1031. The second question that it pours on to me is calculate the duration of the bond. So as we discussed the definition of duration of bond is time multiplied by present value of future cash flow. So present value of future cash flow is this column multiplied by the time. Okay, and I'm stretching the formula down, so this comes as here. So duration will be nothing but 456 divided by 1031. So answer will be 4.32. Modified duration का calculation was very simple. Modified duration was duration divided by 1 plus R. Okay, so if you see the formula here, I have written duration is 4.32 divided by 1 plus C1, that is R, that is 7.25. So my Macaulay duration is 4.03. Now let's come to the most interesting part of the bond. Okay, the change in price duration. Okay, so now you need to focus. Please pay your next 5 minutes complete attention on the screen. Okay, change in the price, if you have to calculate, you have been given that interest rate falls by 80 basis point. Okay, आपका interest rate 80 basis point से गिर रहा है, तो I can say that your interest is falling by 0.8%. Okay, so your price will change by what? The formula for change in price is modified duration multiplied by change in percentage. So your modified duration that you calculated was 4.03, that multiplied by 0.8%. So your answer will be 3.22% is the change in price. Okay, so in simple terms, if I will ask you, then what will be your price if this is the YTM? If your YTM changes from 7.25, say 7.25% minus 0.8%, that is 6.45% पे अगर आपका YTM में calculate करूं तो what will be the value of the bond? In simple mathematics, I can say that your value of the bond will become 1031 into 1 plus 3.22%, because that is what we are learning here. Okay, so if that is going to happen, okay, so 1031 into 3.22 is 1063.78. Okay, but now let's come and see a magic. In Excel sheet, if I have just copy pasted this entire cell box into this new cell box. Okay, and I have I have just changed here that instead of 7.25, my new coupon rate is 6.45, and I have calculated. So instead of my value coming here as, my value should have come as 1031 multiplied by 1 plus 3.22%, that is equal to 1063.78. Correct? But if I'm recalculating by putting it in this particular format and trying to calculate the bond value, the answer is coming 1064.50. So there is a difference. Okay, if you will see, there is a difference between 1064.5 minus 1063.78. This particular difference is the variance. So 0.72 is the variance, and this is the approximate error in duration calculation. Okay, from here we will try to understand the concept of convexity, and this is very important from your exam point of view. With the syllabus changing day in day out, convexity is the next new thing that is going to come to you in terms of your examination. Okay, so say for example you have issued a bond for 30 years. I have taken a larger bond so that I could explain you the difference. Okay, so whenever you have a duration which is changing, you will always end up getting a flat or a straight line basis which your duration is changing. So at this point of time, if we see, if my duration is like, if my rate of return is 0, okay, then I am here and my bond value is coming to 15,000. If I am increasing my return, my YTM, I am increasing by 1%. So my value of my bond is decreasing from 1500 to 1300. If I am decreasing my bond rate, okay, I am making it -1, then my value of the bond is increasing. Okay, so there is an inverse relationship between YTM and the value of bond. But right now, if you see the difference between the difference what we calculated of 0.72 of the particular bond in our example, this is nothing but difference between this duration, ये वाला जो difference आपको दिख रहा है, ये दोनों gap वो है. तो till the difference between the rate, YTM का difference is, till it is small, you can see the gap between pink line and blue line is very less. But as the distance increases, as the change in the rate, as the change in the YTM increases, the distance between, the probability of error between duration and the convexity of the bond also increases. Okay, so you have to understand, shorter the bond, better way of calculating the risk is duration. Longer the bond, better way of calculating the risk is convexity of the bond. So here you can easily, by visualization, you can see that if larger the period, longer the period, okay, or the longer the change in the value of the YTM, it is better to take a convexity for your calculation purposes. So let's understand the formula of convexity and how do we need to apply it to calculate our sum. So right now we saw, when we calculated the price variance with difference in duration, that is like we calculated modified duration. We calculated modified duration divided by, sorry, modified duration into change in price we did, change in yield we did, sorry. Modified duration into change in yield we did to calculate the price differences. Okay, so there we got an error of 0.72. Now let us calculate the convexity of the particular sum and then see what is the difference what we will get. Okay, so convexity को calculate करने के लिए फॉर्मूला बहुत, एक स्टेप खाली आगे जाना है आपको. आपने ड्यूरेशन कैलकुलेट करने के लिए यू ऑलरेडी डिड टाइम मल्टीप्लाइड बाय प्रेजेंट वैल्यू into time. You did it here. Okay, now what you have to do, you just have to add one more multiplication to it, that is 1 plus t. Okay, you have to just add that. So if I have to do it for you, it will be present value of future cash flow into time multiplied by 1 plus time again. Okay, इसको आप नीचे स्ट्रेच कर लोगे, इसका समेशन ले लोगे, इसका समेशन आ रहा है 25,386. तो योर कॉन्वेक्सिटी, आपकी कॉन्वेक्सिटी जो होगी, दैट विल बी 25,387 डिवाइडेड बाय वैल्यू ऑफ द बॉन्ड, दैट इज 1031. तो इसको अगर आप सॉल्व करेंगे तो यू विल गेट अ आंसर ऑफ 24.63. ओके, तो योर कॉन्वेक्सिटी इज 24.63. नाउ योर परसेंटेज चेंज, यहाँ पे आपने ड्यूरेशन से कैलकुलेट करना था, तो आपने क्या किया था, मॉडिफाइड ड्यूरेशन मल्टीप्लाइड बाय चेंज इन यील्ड. ओके, यहाँ का फॉर्मूला थोड़ा अलग है, यू विल हैव टू रिमेंबर. The formula of change in convexity is nothing but -1 multiplied by change in yield. हमारे सब में change in yield क्या था, 0.8% into modified duration. हमारा modified duration कितना है, 4.03 plus half multiplied by convexity कितना आया, 0.63 multiplied by change in the yield. Change in yield is 0.8% in raised to the power 2. Okay, so if you will solve this particular thing, when you solve this thing, then you get the answer of 1064. Okay, so you will get the answer of 1064. Sorry, your change will come as 0.03, and when I add that particular change, so like here we did 1031 plus 1.32 percentage. Now if I do in my calculation number 2, calculation type 2, let me change the ink. Calculation 2, if I have to do 1031 multiplied by 1 plus, let me convert this into percentage first so that we can have a better number. It is 1 plus 3.3. One plus, why is pen not working? Okay, something happened with my pen. Let me just try it once again. Yeah, got it. So 1 plus 3.30 percentage. तो इसका वैल्यू आता है 1064.6. Now if I compare this 1064.6 with 1064.50, you can see very small, the variance is still there. Variance is coming of 0.10. Okay, so you can see that whenever the curve is convex, the variances that you get are very minimum in comparison to the when you are comparing the risk with the only duration taking into play. Okay, so this is concept of convexity. Please remember this. This is one of the most interesting concept in entire bond valuation. So coming back to our slide, so this formula we already understood. You can just revise it. I will just attach the slide also to the video. So the key things what we will learn out of this particular index and chart is key. See, if you see that as the rate decreases, as the rate is rate are increasing. Okay, it is going from 5 to 15%. You can see value of the bond. Okay, value of the bond is decreasing. Okay, so we can say that there is with increase in YTM, there is a decrease in the bond value. With decrease in YTM, there is an increase in bond value. Please remember this, very important from your exam point of view. This is a fundamental of bonds and you have to remember this. Another key learning is that convexity is a very good friend of yours. Better the convexity, you will earn more. जैसे जैसे यहाँ पे distance आता जाएगा, okay, this distance comes in. You can see that with decrease in the interest rate, with the decrease in the interest rate, यहाँ पे decrease is happening by 1%, but the increase that will happen when you take the convexity, it will be larger in comparison to the change when you take the duration. Okay, for the shorter duration bond, duration is a better way of measurement of change in bond price. But in case of a longer duration bond, convexity is a much better way of calculating price measurement, change in price measurement of the bond. Second last thing we need to understand is credit rating of the bond. So generally, how will an investor know that he has to invest in a particular bond? So government has had 2 or 3 agencies who does this on a private basis. ICRA and CRISIL were the primary agencies who used to do credit rating. So credit rating is nothing but you have to submit your financials and your plans in terms of the bond which you are issuing to these agencies. These agencies go through, does a proper due diligence of yours, and they check whether the project for which you are getting this money, okay, for the purpose for which you are getting this bond money, how are you going to repay that bond money after the specified period. So they do all the analysis over your financials, and from there they will identify that what is the probability of you able to pay the money back to the investors. So this is one of the measures that taken by the government, that no bond can be issued without a credit rating. And with the credit rating, we are assured that if a bond is a AAA bond or a AA bond rated bond, we are assured that our principal will get back to us along with the interest. Generally, bond denoting a rating of D are the bonds which generally do default. Okay, junk bond ratings are received by the companies making payment, but the default rates are very high in those kind of bonds. Last part what we need to understand is what is difference between interest rate risk and रीइन्वेस्टमेंट रेट रिस्क. रीइन्वेस्टमेंट रिस्क क्या होता है कि आपने अगर एक बॉन्ड में पैसा डाला, ओके, एंड देयर आर सर्टेन अनसर्टेनिटीज कंसर्निंग द रेट एट विच द कैश फ्लोज विल बी रीइन्वेस्टमेंट. आप उसको री इन्वेस्ट, जब आपका पैसा मेच्योर हो जाएगा, वेर यू विल री इन्वेस्ट दैट काइंड ऑफ मनी, दैट काइंड ऑफ अनसर्टेनिटी इज कॉल्ड एज री इन्वेस्टमेंट रेट रिस्क. Shorter term bond have more reinvestment rate risk than the longer term bond risk, because long term mein you know that where your money is. In the shorter term, once the money comes to you, you will have to think where you want to invest that money once again. इंटरेस्ट रेट रिस्क क्या होता है? इफ द नेम बाय इटसेल्फ सजेस्ट, इफ द मार्केट में, जैसे वी स्टडीड इन एम्बेडेड बॉन्ड्स ऑफ कॉल एंड पुट, वी स्टडीड इफ द मार्केट इंटरेस्ट रेट चेंजेस, देन व्हाट विल वी डू? Okay, if we have invested in 7% bond, but now market is paying us a bond at 8% or 10%, that kind of a risk what we have is called as interest rate risk. Interest rate risk are generally covered up by taking the float provisions and seeing how best we can hedge ourselves with that kind of changes in the market. So that's what is there, and this is one of the practical sum. You guys can take a screenshot of this, and this sum ka solution you will get in the Excel sheet also. Okay, please try to calculate this by yourself. From my side, this is a homework, and once you are able to do it, or if you are unable to do it also, please put it in the comments so that I can help you out if you are unable to do it. And if you are able to do it, I'll be very happy that you have understood all the concepts what I have tried to explain. Thank you everyone. Please like, share and subscribe my video channel so that I will be more happy to make long videos and more videos for all of you. Thank you.